So I picked Gilbert Burns to beat Demian Maia this weekend, but I did not expect it to happen like that. I thought we were going to see Demian Maia take Gilbert Burns down and control him for like 2 rounds, and then Gilbert Burns was going to be able to somehow come back in the third and get a TKO on a gassed out Maia, but he literally just... he might be the next world champ. Maybe Maia's just a little bit past it now, but he just KO'd Demian Maia in the first round. Woodley couldn't do that. Usman couldn't do that. Colby couldn't do that. Gilbert Burns just chinned Maia in 1 round after defending the takedown, which is bigger to me than him getting the KO. What's more important for me in this Gilbert Burns-Maia fight is that Gilbert Burns defended that takedown and stopped Maia from taking his back and got back to his feet. That's even bigger for me, because if you can do that to Maia, you're going to have a good chance of doing it to Usman. You might not be able to do it to Usman, but you're at least going to show that you have some problems for Usman and Colby. And he called out Colby Covington, and it was a funny call out. I just don't think he's going to get it. I don't think he's going to get the Colby fight, because I know Colby's not looking for Gilbert Burns. He's not looking for Michael Chiesa. You know, it's just... he's in a different situation right now where Colby's looking for the guy to get him a title shot, and Gilbert Burns just isn't that guy. And I know it'd be a great fight. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to see Burns versus Colby. But would you like to see it more than Colby versus Woodley? Colby versus Leon Edwards? If Masvidal loses to Usman, Colby versus Usman. If Usman loses to Masvidal, Colby versus Masvidal. Colby versus Nate Diaz. Colby versus... there's just so many more better fights than Colby versus Gilbert Burns. Or Colby versus Chiesa. And I understand why they called him out, because Colby's everyone's call out recently. But... you're not going to get it. You know, it's a tough reality of where you're ranked in the division, Gilbert Burns. But if I would pick a fight out for Gilbert Burns next, Jeff Neal, International Fight Week, on the McGregor card of the main card. On the main card of the McGregor card, sorry. Gilbert Burns versus Jeff Neal, or Gilbert Burns versus Santiago Ponzinibbio. One of them two next. And then we can talk about Burns getting a jump up in the rankings. Because right now in the welterweight division, I feel as though... we kind of know what's going to happen, you know? Woodley versus Edwards winner is probably going to get a title shot. The loser of Woodley-Edwards is probably going to get a fight with Covington. Demian Maia has just lost to Burns. Burns is going to slide in at number 7, and Chiesa and Wonderboy are going to get moved up the rankings. Chiesa and Wonderboy are probably going to fight each other next. That seems like the fight that's going to happen. Dos Anjos Lawler will fight each other for a retirement bout. Nate Diaz is going to sit out and do nothing until McGregor fights again, and then he's going to tweet about it, and then maybe come back against someone completely unexpected. Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if we see Nate Diaz take a fight with fucking James Krause for no reason. But, you know, that's just Nate Diaz. You never know what he's going to do. But, right now, Jeff Neal versus Gilbert Burns is the fight I want to see next. They were 10-12. Now Burns has got a big win. I feel as though he should offer it back down to Jeff Neal. Get a big win there. And then we can talk about you getting a shot in against the top 3. But just right now for Gilbert Burns, it was a big win. But, you know, it's tough. Without the crowd, it kind of removes a lot of hype. Am I wrong? I feel like the crowd cheering added a lot to stuff. Like, if the crowd was roaring, the Brazilian crowd was roaring for Gilbert Burns calling out Colby Covington, now you've got something. But it was just a bit of an empty call out with no crowds cheering, you know? It was just like, oh, he called out Covington. I feel like the whole night was like that. You know, there was a big KO and it was just like, well, there wasn't any big KOs because there wasn't any of the entire fucking fight card. But like Moicano would get the submission and it would be like, okay, Burns got the only KO of the night. He got the big KO and it was just like, eh. The crowd really do add an effect to the arena. And I honestly think Burns would have been booed even though he's Brazilian, you know? Because he would have been booed. He beat Maia. That's still not good enough for Brazilian fans. You have to be Brazilian, and you have to be the Brazilian that they want to win. Otherwise, they're going to boo you out of the arena. Gilbert Burns got a good performance, though. Amazing performance. He called out... someone said they want to see him... people were talking about him moving back down to lightweight. He definitely should stay at welterweight. If he goes back down to lightweight, he's lost to Dan Hooker. He's lost to some other guys at lightweight as well. It's just like, you know, why start again? Use this hype at welterweight. Take another fight with Jeff Neal on a relatively short notice. You know, because you just got out of this fight completely unscathed. Take that activity into a fight with Jeff Neal. See if you can have an advantage there because you've been more active. Beat Jeff Neal. And then we're talking about top 3 opponents. I just feel like right now to call out someone at number 2, it's most likely not going to happen. But either way, that check hook was fucking... I can't believe that we haven't seen that happen more often. We've watched 5 rounds of Woodley Maia. That didn't happen. We've watched 5 rounds of Usman Maia. That didn't happen. We've watched 3 rounds of Colby Maia. Didn't happen. Like, it's just, we've watched 3 rounds of Masvidal Maia. Didn't happen. How good is Gilbert Burns? Or is Maia just that far over the hill? And I said this before the fight. I knew Maia was going to lose because he just doesn't have the motivation anymore, in my opinion. And it looked that... I don't know what you can say about this. Because if Maia got tired early and just gave up and quit in the corner, maybe you could say he's past his prime. But he just got caught with a fucking vicious left hook. I don't think you can say he's old, or say that he's past the hill, or say that he's not got it anymore. I think you can just say that Gilbert Burns KO'd Demian Maia in the first round and looked amazing while doing it. Good job, Gilbert Burns. Very good performance. Gets the first round TKO. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. I wish we would have seen a bit more of him, because I don't know how, but short notice Gilbert Burns wins by decision. So maybe this is just a full notice Gilbert Burns. Maybe short notice Gilbert Burns is only good enough to go by decision, but the long notice Gilbert Burns will finish everyone in the first round. I don't know. Maybe the legend of Gilbert Burns is true. Maybe he really is the second coming of Jesus Christ. He's got his brother Herbert Burns in the cage as well, getting some big wins in the featherweight division. Made a big win in his debut. Gilbert Burns, man. He's definitely going to slide in around that number 7 range. Wonder Boy and Chiesa will move up the rankings. Maia will shift down to 8. Everyone else below 8 and below will get shifted down. And Burns will jump right in at 7. That's a good little positional change. Good win from Gilbert Burns. New life in the division. Kind of makes up for the fact that Lee got submitted and fucking Walker got embarrassed. So, at least something good happened. Goodbye. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button there. I'll see you later. Yeah. But what's next for Maia, actually? Because Maia's got one more fight on his contract, and he wants that one more fight on his contract. And I don't know who he's going to take it against. Because... But he might even retire. You never know with Demian Maia. Because he said he wants to fight 3 more times. He fought Ben Askren. He fought Gilbert Burns. He lost. 1 more. Who does Maia take on next? Because there's a bunch of options. Maia versus RDA, Maia versus Robbie Lawler, Maia versus maybe even Vicente Luque. Like, maybe Maia just wants to do his bit and lose to a bunch of Brazilians so that Brazilians get a bunch of hype. Maybe that's what it is. Maia just going to sacrifice himself for the good of Luque's hype. If Luque gets past Randy Brown, that is. But yeah, I don't know what's next for Maia. Maybe take a lot of time off and then just have one big retirement fight. But I don't know if we're going back to Brazil until next year. So maybe we won't see Demian Maia until then. Which would be horrible. But definitely Gilbert Burns versus Jeff Neal should happen next. And if that doesn't happen, then Jeff Neal versus Santiago Ponzinibbio could also happen. And be an amazing fight as well. I'm looking forward to all of them. They're all good fights to make. Any one you make, even if you do make Burns versus Covington, it would be a waste of Covington's name, but still a great fight to have Burns versus Covington. I just feel like the Covington call-out is not something he's going to get. Covington's looking for Woodley, he's looking for Leon Edwards, he's looking for Usman, he's looking for Masvidal. He's not looking for anyone else. You know, he came this close to winning the belt against Usman. He's not going to take on a number 7 guy who's just coming up. That's not going to happen. Especially because he's coming off a loss and Burns is coming off a win. The UFC don't make those fights anyway. So, we'll see what happens. I don't think the fight with him and Colby will happen, but if it does, I don't mind Burns' chances. I really don't. He's a great fighter. He's powerful. He's got good takedown defense, good submission defense. In a 3-rounder, I don't know. It's tough. You know, maybe... I think Colby would win, but hey, it's dangerous. Every fight's dangerous for Colby at this point. Very dangerous, especially now that he just took a bit of damage against Usman. Who knows? Who knows what happens? But like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. It wasn't the best night of fights, but hey, Gilbert Burns made up for it with the only KO of the night. I know, madness. Got himself a performance of the night bonus as well, I assume, because he was one of the 3 guys to get a finish in the entire card. Crazy. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button there. Goodbye. See you later.